Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Pokemon Forever. And this is one of those movies I have not seen nor heard too much about. So let's just get straight into this. The narration by one of the three main characters, Brock, narrates about the world of Pokemon as they're everywhere, and Ash Ketchum, who wants to be a Pokemon master while he's joined on his adventure alongside Misty and Brock, and we move on to Celebi, getting attacked by a couple of Pokemon led by a Pokemon hunter. Sorry, I don't know the guy's name. As a new character named Sam is told by a woman who ends up being a grandmother of a child who we'll get introduced to later in the movie about a time traveling situation, and Sam sees Celebi getting attacked by the Pokemon hunter's Pokemon. As I know one of them is Scyther, but I don't know the other one off the top of my head. And Sam saves Celebi, and Celebi uses its powers to time travel as the woman sees it as he'll be gone for 40 years, while the Pokemon hunter tortures a man who turned Pokemon into an evil Pokemon version with a dark Pokeball after stealing them from other people. And this is bad storytelling because he is a villain who is very underdeveloped, in my opinion. Brock and Misty wait for Ash and Pikachu to get on the boat while Ash battles his Pikachu against the water Pokemon. And how could Pikachu not use his electric powers? Because it could affect him rather easily until he fries the water Pokemon and its trainer and get interrupted by Brock's Pokemon and tell Ash to get on the boat rather quickly as Brock and Misty make it, but Ash barely makes it and gets saved by a man whom shows the three heroes while they see a Pokemon named Suicune. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Please forgive me. And tells Professor Oak about it as he wonders if he should have told him, and we'll find out what it is in the very end of the movie, when credits roll. And they get on the man's boat and they can fly like in Pokemon 2000, the boat can. So that didn't feel as cool as it was in that film. Meanwhile, they get to Arbor Town while Team Rocket, Jesse James, and Meowth follow them to grab Pikachu, which is something I remember seeing in the TV show. And are they still doing this? Really? While Ash, Misty, and Brock meet Diana and her grandmother, who warned Sam earlier in the early scenes. Excuse me. As they find Sam while Celebi hides somewhere, and they bring Sam back to the grandmother who helped him earlier in the film and gave him a loaf of bread. And this feels a heck of a lot more convenient than previously. They learn Sam has been missing for 40 years as he asks where Celebi is at, and they didn't see Celebi when they found him, and Sam, Ash, Misty, and Brock look for Celebi, and they do find him while other Pokemon around him. As Celebi is afraid and hurt, while they help him calmly and get him out of between the two trees, he gets stuck on as one crushed him and gets weak and rush Celebi to the Pokemon Center until Jesse James and Meowth catch up to them and say their motto for the first time ever in the movies and repeatedly say it in the TV show, and also encounter the Pokemon Hunter, as we learned from Jesse James and Meowth that the Pokemon Hunter was a part of Team Rocket, while Ash uses Bayleaf and Sam uses Charmeleon to fight the Pokemon Hunter's Pokemon and eventually beat their booties, which works out for Ash and Sam, and the action sequences in that scene are just as comedic as and much worse than before, as the anime in this is also getting worse as time goes on. The heroes follow a couple of bear Pokemon and others to lead them to a lake of life where Ash and Sam find some Pokemon and heal Celebi. It puts Ash and Sam in the water as they go swimming when they can't breathe underwater for long, and Celebi makes them fly and makes Misty's twisted knee that she twisted earlier in the film, and this is once again making convenient choices while they see other Pokemon and taste a berry tree, and they pick some berries while the Pokemon Hunter look for Celebi while Team Rocket are hungry and tries to take a peach from a peach tree. until the Pidgeotto eats it for them. And Sam draws a picture of Pikachu and Celebi sleeping together, which does look cute, while at the same time creepy, as Ash kind of upsets Sam about how he lost a lot of time, and again, this dialogue is very cringeworthy and badly acted throughout, not only in this movie but the series. Excuse me. Ash and Sam see a bunch of Butterfree with Pikachu and Celebi as they watch them be free while on a tree, and we move on to the next morning, and the Pokemon Hunter and Team Rocket approach and unfortunately capture Celebi rather successfully and turn him into a monster because of the Dark Pokeball, while Ash tries to stop the Pokemon Hunter from having Celebi in the Pokeball, but he gets away anyways by stepping on Ash's fingers. And the other Pokemon getting up on the Pokemon Hunter, and he shows the other Pokemon it's become the monster and the Pokemon Hunter wanted it to be, as it's a very strong and scares the other Pokemon away, and it makes a nest while Jessie gets captured, and Diana and her grandmother come in with the man's boat that flies, and the Alpha Pokemon comes in to help Celebi, while the Pokemon Hunter wants Jessie as a witness for her master Giovanni, who was in the first movie, to see how powerful Celebi is. And this is almost as long as Pokemon 2000, which is around 80 minutes. But I felt the length as it felt longer than any of the previous movies, as this feels like a waste of time. Celebi knocks down the man's boat, and everybody tries to stop the Pokemon Hunter and the evil Celebi as the Pokemon Hunter tells Celebi to destroy the kids until the Northwind, aka Suicune, and the Alpha, which is the Alpha Pokemon, saving Ash and Sam's life as Brock helps fight the Pokemon Hunter with Onix, while Ash and Sam tell Celebi to get the curse of the Dark Pokeball out of it, while the fight between one of the Pokemon Hunter's Pokemon and Onix faints itself as Ash and Sam crash near Jessie, and they talk some sense into Celebi, and eventually Celebi gets back to normal and thinks it's all the nice things Ash, Sam, and the heroes did for it, and Celebi remembers everything, which feels super convenient, and lets Suicune go and breaks the nest, and Jessie gets out of the trap she was in, as well as the effects in the scene were very bad to look at, like the previous movies. Celebi is in the water as it doesn't heal it, but Suicune puts the lake water back together by cleaning it, and it doesn't work, and Ash gives Celebi some berries they found earlier in the film, and that doesn't work, and suddenly Ash cries, and Sam makes a speech that a human being made Celebi destroy the forest, while the Pokemon roar for Celebi to wake up as the sun does a powerful thing of some kind, which confused me as it's called the voice of the forest. And the other Celebi heals the Celebi the audience was following this whole movie, as it sounds like the song from The Little Mermaid, which is not one of my favorite Disney films, by the way. And Celebi comes back to them until Celebi gets captured by the Pokemon Hunter, and Ash hangs on and tells Pikachu to use its Thunderbolt until Celebi saves their lives. And the Pokemon Hunter gets encountered by Diana, and the grandmother, the man, and all of his Pokemon web up the Pokemon Hunter. And Suicune says goodbye to the heroes, and Celebi goes back in time with Sam as he goes home, and he says his goodbyes to the heroes, and the heroes call Professor Oak, and Ash is afraid he will never see him again. And by him I mean Sam, as Professor Oak says you will someday. And how does he know that? As Misty brings up that they never said Sam's name once, as Professor Oak is Sam, which took it long enough, while Jessie is reunited with James and Meowth as credits roll, with Ash, Misty, and Brock going with the man and the flying boat onto a boat, while Tracy is cleaning Professor Oak's library and sees in the drawing of Pikachu's Celebi and puts it in the library, while Ash, Misty, and Brock continue on their adventure And the climax was jarring enough, as this was a very bad Pokemon movie, but let's see how bad it is in a rating. I'll give this movie a 2.4 out of 10. The story is bad while the villain feels underdeveloped, and I once again don't like the characters like previously. This feels a lot more convenient than previously, while the action sequences were comedic and much worse than before, as the anime is getting worse as time goes on. This once again makes convenient choices while the dialogue is very cringeworthy and badly acted throughout, not only this movie, but the series, as this is around the same amount of minutes as Pokemon 2000, which is 80 minutes, as it felt longer than that, and this feels like a waste of time. The effects in some scenes look just as bad as in the previous movies, as well as this being a confusing movie, and the climax was jarring enough as it was a very bad movie, and the anime Pokemon movies do not work as well as I thought, and we don't know Professor Oak as Sam until the end of this movie, which it took long enough to explain it. And this is a solid non-recommendation once again for this movie, as well as this series. Despite I have one more anime movie to go and one live action movie, which will last me 2 more weeks. But at the end of the day, it was just a very bad movie. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time I will be back with Pokemon Heroes. And until then, Pokeball, I choose you. Pikachu, I choose you. Or should I say, Peek? Excuse me.